And gentlemen, welcome to episode 18 of the Friggin Nerds podcast. I am your host, Mario Lima, as always, joined by the Friggin Nerds crew, as always, in the lovely Moobies t-shirt. I forgot that t-shirt existed. I need to go find mine. Lee Dumas.
Ew.
She's a Mobius variant.
Oh. I am.
Oh,
interesting.
I'm gonna put his face right here where the moose is.
Yes,
it's a cow, but okay.
If there can be an alligator Loki, there can be a moose cow Mobius.
Yeah.
See, Mario, it's Mobies the moose.
Anyways, we'll let the chat decide. Also joined by the lovely question mark punctuation queen here with her fancy question mark and exclamation point earrings, Britt Berkey.
That's me.
That's her.
They're supposed to be like, when Mike says the swear words. This is like,
yes,
the characters that come up.
That's the only way you can censor yourself.
Yes.
And then, of course, rounding out the team is, you know him, you love him, the iconic Sweaty Mike.
What's up, guys? Happy
Tuesday. My goodness, Tuesday is our favorite day of the week.
That's right.
But so much fun. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up. A pretty quick show today, but a lot of cool things happening we'll talk about later, of course.
Pretty quick, and it's going to be like a 2.5 hour one watch.
This is
going to happen.
It does. The ones that have the shorter news days end up going longer because we'll sit down for a while. But as you guys know, every week we start off with a little segment called the Swear Jar.
And for gosh sake, watch your language.
Each week, the hosts are given a keyword that we are not allowed to say during the podcast. Each time that word is said, $1 gets added to the swear jar. At the end of the draft season, one lucky audience member will get to win the pot. And man, it's a pretty thick pot. We did good last time. We didn't say the word at all.
I know.
I did so good last week. I didn't do it once.
So proud of Mike.
We're so proud of you, Mike.
I'll be real with you. I forgot what the word was.
I think it was fan, wasn't it?
It was fan.
Like that seems like a word that I would say a lot.
Strange that you didn't say that one,
right?
Yeah, and I think I was.
We thought we were gonna screw you up.
And I think I was messing around with my fan last week too, and I didn't even think about it.
I love having a fan on. We're all fans of something. Like nothing. It didn't come up. I'm surprised.
I am too. We all are.
Yeah, but for right now, our current balance still sits at $20.
20 buckaroos.
And we're kind of halfway through the season, so we're getting there. So very soon we will be rounding up the money and then finding a way to get it to one lucky audience member. Question of the word of the day is going to be between two. We had two of them. I'm still trying to decide which one it should be.
Which one will I say the least?
Quick chat. Should it be delay or should it be push?
Yeah, delay or push. I'm thinking delay. I think delay is the.
I don't know. I think Mike's more likely to say push.
You think so?
You think so?
I feel like I hear Mike say
good.
Like it got pushed back. Oh, everyone says delay.
I'm seeing two delays.
Okay,
delay. The word of the day is delay. After the sentence, we cannot say delay. And starting now. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's not blank this show here. Yeah, I didn't use the word. We're gonna move on to the bulletin board here, and we're gonna start off with one of our other favorite segments. This is the question of the week. As you guys know, if you're on Discord with us, every day we put a question of the day. Today Steph at A put a great one that actually had an answer to it. Like, what is something people do on Tuesday worldwide? And apparently it was be late to work, which is very, very interesting. But today,
I still think taco is the correct answer.
Taco Tuesday and Friggin Nerds podcast were the two top answers.
So being late to work, getting stuck in traffic is like the answer?
Yeah, that was like I guess some sort of surveyed answer.
I have heard at some point that traffic is like heaviest on Tuesdays for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. It was the very first one that we had an actual answer to it. So
yeah,
interesting.
But for the Frigginers podcast version, we are doing what was your first concert, which would be very fun. I had to really rack my brain for this one because man, I did not remember at all.
Really? I'm so
I
sorry.
do.
I thought I would think that would stick with you more.
Yeah, I did. I've been to a lot of concerts. I had to sit and think. I'm like, which one was it? And then I finally narrowed it down. I actually have a album with all my tickets in it and stuff. And I was like trying to think, what was the first one I put in there? And I remembered it. So who wants to start off?
I'll go first because it's really funny.
Mine's funnier, I guarantee it.
It might be. So I can't remember which one of these came first. So I'm going to say both of them. The one that I probably enjoyed more at this age was seeing the live action Ninja Turtles rock tour.
Oh, yes.
Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
I still have the t-shirt upstairs.
Oh, that's vintage. You got to frame that shit.
I know.
I think I wear that.
It's the coming out of their shells tour or something, I think is what it was. Yeah.
Oh,
Dude, I love
man.
that thing. It was
man.
I don't remember how old I was when we saw that versus going to my first actual concert with a music act was the Moody Blues in Chicago.
Are you sure it wasn't the Movie Blues?
The Movie Blues. It was the Moody Blues. I went with my parents. They're big, classic rock fans. And so that was my first actual concert. The group that I've seen 100% the most though is 100% Aerosmith. That's it. But yeah, Moody Blues was first actual concert, but Ninja Turtles is the one that
but the Ninja Turtles one is the top one.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'll say because you guys must have a lot of great shows there, being near Nashville. You must all the great country acts, all the great rock acts. I'm sure you guys have a great time up there.
Here. Yeah.
And so next one I guess is Brit.
Mine's not funny. I went to
NSYNC.
No, it was before NSYNC. NSYNC was my favorite, but no, my first concert was No Doubt.
Oh, you've told me that before. That's
and
we had
this awesome music venue back then. It was like this gigantic outdoor Starwood Amphitheater.
Yes.
You remember that? It's not there anymore. Got paved over, but there was a massive lightning storm that night, and they had to cancel the show halfway through because it hit lightning hit the stage and stuff. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, what?
But, yeah, I was a big Gwen Stefani fan.
So I love.
I could see that.
No Doubt's great.
I could see that.
So Lee, let's see what your first one was. How funny.
So my first concert, my parents actually told us that we were going to see Disney on Ice, and then my little cousin got there. Got to the house, and Sherry was like, we were amped to go to see Disney on Ice. That's the kind of, we were just excited to be going somewhere. And my little cousin gets to the house, and she goes, no, we're going to see Aaron Carter. But it was in the form of one of our local radio stations. They had a birthday bash, or they had a birthday bash every year where they had a bunch of popular artists. And that year it was Vanessa Carlton. I still have a t-shirt somewhere. Aaron Carter was the headliner though. And I was 10 or something. And my sister and I were swooning.
He skyrocketed and then fell.
Plummeted.
There was 1 year that he was Nick Carter's brother and everybody knew him.
Aaron Carter?
Then he was gone.
So what happened is he started singing when he was young. And that was when he was really popular, was when he was a preteen. But once he hit puberty and his voice changed, nobody liked him anymore because his music changed. So
and drugs.
And drugs. Well, no, drugs came after his album tanked. Man. To be fair.
Nice.
I'll say those Carter boys looking rough. Didn't they have a reality show at one point of them Like I just remember seeing them fighting all the time and stuff.
Was that the Carter boys?
I think
or was that the Lachey's?
I think
I thought it was the Lachey's.
No, I think it was Nick and Aaron. Like them.
Oh, was it really?
No,
real messed up.
In the Lachey's, they kept their shit together.
Yeah, but I don't know. I remember seeing like Aaron Carter looking rough and then
well,
Nick.
yeah, he was
Nick
a drug
Carter.
addict, but
I've
he's
seen Nick
actually
Carter
clean
recently.
now.
He was the judge on some acapella show, right? Wasn't there an acapella show he was a judge on?
The sing off.
Yeah, I think he's good now, but I have no idea.
No, he's definitely
he
good
had
now.
a down. He had a down.
Not
down
Nick.
period.
No, not
Who?
Nick. Aaron did.
Not Nick. Aaron,
Aaron.
his little brother.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nick's fine.
Aaron.
Nick's
And
good.
and along the lines of what Mike said about the most frequent concert I've ever been to, like the most frequent group I've ever seen, I have definitely seen Real Big Fish, like probably 8 or 9 times.
Big Fish.
Real Big Fish. That's, I talked about this on like Crafts and Cocktails a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
It's like a ska
Yep.
band, so it's like the brass is mixed in, and it's kind of like
I remember you talking about this
really
now,
sarcastic, funny lyrics, but they're really, really fun to watch in person, and their tickets are usually fairly inexpensive. So I get a chance whenever they come around, which is fairly often because I think they're kind of local. I literally am the first one to sign up. I'm like, yeah.
Nice.
Come in, coach. Hell yeah.
All right, Mario.
All right, Mario.
And
what you got?
My very first one was a pretty big one. Actually, I just saw some Raylos just said the same thing. Was Ozfest for me.
Oh.
It was in 2000. It was 2007 when it was actually free. Like Ozzy had come out at a press conference and said, "All right, everybody, it's going to be bloody free," and like just fucking he just spray painted free on like the banner. And it's yeah, whatever, and made it free. And it was like not the greatest lineup. Like obviously Ozzy closed out the night. Yeah, Lamb of God was there. I'm trying to think. I don't remember much of the other bands. I think Devil Driver, some other like kind of lesser known metal bands at the time. But yeah, they were. That was my first concert, and it was very overwhelming because it's a festival, you know, and it's hot. It's hot as hell, and you're like there's 2 different stages. So you have like the one stage with like the kind of smaller bands, and then you move up to the big stage with like you know Lamb of God and all of them, and then Ozzy closed out the night, and that was a fantastic time. Yeah. Had a blast seeing that. But
we used to have here in Nashville, we used to have all kinds of festivals like that. There was the dancing in the district, river stages.
Yeah. Raylos might like remember some of
well, he's from up in the area.
That's right.
Yep.
You're not like a native Nashvilleian.
We pulled him down here for work, remember?
That's right.
And then they had like every year the radio station here in town would have an Ozfest type show that was a lot of metal and hard rock. It was called Buzzfest.
Oh yeah,
remember Buzzfest?
Buzzfest.
That was good times. A lot of good acts there.
Metal, just married into it.
That's right, you did.
I used to go to there's another one called Mayhem Fest. That was kind of like the one that kind of replaced Ozfest in a way because I was like shortly after Ozfest was no more, and they did Mayhem Fest, which was like really, really fun. And I remember I met Anthrax in like the Monster Energy like tent. Like I saw Scotty in there, and I met the whole band and stuff like that.
Scotty
that's fun.
Doesn't know.
That's cool.
Know.
But
Expecto Go in the chat says his first was Matchbox 20.
Really, Matchbox 20.
That brings back
Matchbox 20, man.
Oh man,
that's a good classic group I want to see.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I think real quick, I guess the one like we're talking about like most frequent, I think mine was Slash. I think I saw Slash.
Yeah, I never see it's like movies. Like I never watch things more than once. I don't think I've ever gone to a concert.
You haven't seen the same group twice?
Really?
Oh, James Taylor. No, Billy Joel is definitely my favorite though.
Yeah.
I think Slash is the only one I saw multiple times. I saw him 3 times solo in a solo band, and 1 time as Guns N' Roses when they first came back.
I've seen because of the festivals, we'd have a lot of the same groups come back through every year. 3 Doors Down, Collective Soul, those groups frequented these festivals quite a bit. Seven Dust for our Buzzfest.
Seven Dust. Quite a bit. Oh my god.
Oh man.
You know who else puts on a good show? We've only seen them once, but Oh no, now I'm gonna blank. Oh no.
Just kidding.
Bare Naked Ladies puts on a good show. Who's the one that we saw, Mario? Oh my God, at Warped Tour.
We saw a lot of bands at Warped Tour.
Yeah.
No, they're really good. They played a lot. Oh no.
Simple
Now I'm blanking.
Plan.
Yeah, Simple Plan's great. Sum 41 is great.
303.
I've seen them a few times. 303 I've only seen once. Maybe actually, wait, that's a lie. I saw them twice in the same summer. Once at Six Flags. And it comes full circle.
I was like about to say there's somebody
Mario's
I think that
favorite place.
Mario saw someone there.
Yeah, I don't care if Aerosmith did like a free meet and greet and there was a Six Flags, I still wouldn't go. No thanks.
What if we could get a meet and greet with Foghorn for you?
Oh, I'd kill him.
I also saw Kesha that summer. So
at Six Flags?
Kesha's from Nashville.
They told her, they were like, this is a family friendly concert, so you can't cuss. And she goes, well, shit, I fucked that up right off the bat. Like she definitely was drunk when she came on stage.
Oh, that's funny.
It was so funny. Oh, my Lanta. Oh, John Mayer. Oh,
there's a lot of good
I would have loved to see Kanye. Well, I don't know how he is now. Early Kanye, I love early Kanye. So
Jericho Road. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm,
I love Jericho Road.
Do y'all remember? Oh my God, Sadie Hawkins Dance in my khaki pants.
Oh, that's a local group. I don't think everybody knows.
That's not a local group.
I'm pretty sure.
No. No.
I don't remember.
Bowling for Soup. Bowling for Soup is who I was thinking of. They put on a wicked good show. They played the Stacey's guys.
Oh, we didn't see them at
and they go, if that's what you were looking for, you got the wrong band. So turn around and go home.
Oh my gosh, that's it. Reliant K.
They're not
yes, Mama Doll. We talked about Real Big Fish.
I remember Reliant K. Oh my God.
Reliant K was like my favorite, and I got tickets and I was so stoked. And then I got grounded and my dad wouldn't let me go.
That the one you tear my heart open. Yeah, that one, right? Reliant K. Is that the right band? No?
Britt?
I don't know that. Don't know that
one? No, I guess not. I'll find it. Reliant K. What's a Reliant K song? It's gonna bother me.
That's not them.
You sure?
Are you thinking of like Dashboard Confessional? Because they were big back then. In like the Reliant. I'm sorry, we have spent way too long on this.
Oh, this is interesting. Like we've fallen down in music rabbit hole.
I guess
now.
not.
I feel like the one everybody remembers from Reliant K is the Sadie Hawkins Dance song.
Yeah. That's
Sadie Hawkins
the
Dance
one.
In my khaki pants.
Sadie Hawkins Dance is number 3 on Spotify.
Oh.
Which one's Be My Escape?
For the podcast listeners, Mario is holding the phone up to his ear and trying to remember the song.
I don't know. I can't think of the band.
Just play a clip of it. We got 30 seconds. We got 30-second clips, right?
Well, we'll look it up after. We'll look it up after the post show. That's why I hang out for the
Stoop says
post
you're
show.
thinking of Scars from Papa Roach.
Papa Roach. That's what I'm thinking about.
Papa Roach. Reliant K.
That's what I'm thinking
is a
of.
Christian band.
Lord have mercy.
I'm trying to think. There's another song by Reliant K that I remember. I want to say it was like on the Spider-Man 1 soundtrack or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
bro.
that was a little bit far off from Reliant K.
I like couldn't be further apart.
Papa Roach, Reliant K.
They were both on my MySpace playlist.
Your repertoire.
Yes.
My repertoire. But anyways, guys.
I had Pussycat Dolls, man. I was like...
Oh, my Lanta.
Anyways, we're gonna jam out some Papa Roach after this.
And remember the name by who the hell is that by?
Oh man, here we go again. We're doing it again.
Wait, who's that by? Remember the name, Mario.
Remember the name?
Yeah. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% gusty
right?
power.
Oh no, that's Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park, but I don't remember what they're called.
Yeah,
what group
now
he was featured in. All right, while Lee is looking that up, we're gonna move on.
Thank you.
Fort Minor.
Fort Minor.
Yes, 100%. We're gonna move on to the next segment. We are doing versus next, guys. This is where we pit 2 iconic fandom characters against each other, and we debate who is going to win. And this one is This one's really hard for me, especially if people have just recently seen the new Suicide Squad movie. If you have not seen it yet, 100% you have to.
Go see it.
Continue watching us because big fans of that movie. So we are pitting King Shark from Suicide Squad versus Drax.
Both, which is like really his counterpart.
James Gunn.
Like literally.
James Gunn darlings. King Shark versus
I heard
Drax.
It was getting bad reviews. No. Not this one.
No,
this one had, I mean, like
this is like a 98% or something crazy.
Like damn near perfect.
Well, they apparently they got review bombed at one point apparently because James Gunn came out and said, "I don't care."
Okay.
So I think they got review bombed a little bit, but other than that, I think it overcame and it was still really, really well received.
It's really, really good, you guys.
So we've got two pretty similar characters, have a lot of comedic relief, but if they are fighting each other, who wins in this? Drax versus King Shark.
This is tough because
I don't know. Well, I feel like
Drax is incredibly humble.
Yes.
And he can go invisible.
He can be invisible.
He can be invisible.
He can single-handedly
vanquish beasts.
So there is that.
Look, there's a lot of things going for King Shark in this battle. One, if you haven't seen Suicide Squad, I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. But there's a moment where King Shark pretty much falls from a very long distance and then gets shot a lot by guns. And he is not phased too much by that.
Shocker.
He just like curls into the fetal position and he's like, ow.
It seemed like too, I can't talk too much about it because people may not have seen it, but I was very impressed by that. Survivability, very high. He can
fit a lot in his mouth.
Eats things whole, chows it up. However, Drax has been known to try to kill things from the inside.
Yeah, he was eaten by that monster. And he came out alive.
And Drax seems like he's got a lot of survivability too. He's pretty tough.
He is. He's like a barbarian.
Yeah.
If we're looking at like D&D classes, I'm voting for Drax.
Oh. Wow.
Only because it's Dave Bautista and that's her guy.
Yeah, you're pitting Dave Bautista against Rambo, son. Sly Stallone was King Shark, or what was his actual name in the movie? It was like Maui or something.
Nanawe.
Nakanawi. Something like that. But I call
Maui.
Him,
Killed it, guys.
I call him King Shark. But anyways, yes. Okay. Thank you. So I'm thinking that I think King Shark's gonna take this. I feel like he's tougher. Like we just talked about how he can't be phased. I feel like any blade is gonna try to pierce him is not gonna touch him. He took on an army of people. I feel like he's gonna be fine, and he's bigger than Drax, I think, too. So I think he's got a little bit of more advantage at that point. I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm voting for Num Nums.
Num Nums. All right, Lee, what you got?
Man, I just like Drax. They both have little to no social understanding of how Earthlings work, which I kind of love. But I think that Shark King is more willing to adapt and to learn about his social surroundings versus Drax is, but he's more like, I am incredibly humble. Like, I don't know. I just feel like he's very like, I got it. I know I don't understand it, but that's okay. And Shark King is like, friends? Okay, Num Nums. Yeah, I'm going with Num Nums.
Man.
Shark Boy.
Oh, this is so hard because I love both these characters. They're probably my favorite characters out of each group.
It's really not hard, though.
It's really not hard?
No.
Yeah, you're leaning Drax. You went with Drax.
I'm choosing Drax, but the King Shark eats people.
Yeah.
And then
pretty much seals the the deal.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really that hard.
Okay. All right. You sold me with King Shark. All right. I'm going with King Shark as well.
Hey,
he survives too. He survived a lot of things.
He survived like a building falling on him. I was like,
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Just remember, Dave Bautista, when you're watching this, that I voted for you. Remember who your real friends are.
So 3-1. King Shark wins.
Yes.
Oh, we have a hot take in the chat.
James has a good take here. I think the movies King Shark would win. If we're going comic book characters, Drax would win.
Okay.
Fair.
So I could probably agree with that.
Thanks, James.
Yeah.
Thanks, James.
That.
Always putting in that extra perspective. I love it.
Oof.
So, King Shark, he was kind of a new face to people.
Probably not to like comic book people. Like there's a lot of people that y'all be like, oh, that's a new MCU person. And I'd be like, no, it's not.
For a general moviegoer, they would know Harley Quinn. They would not know who King Shark is.
Well, we've seen a lot of King Shark lately. I think I mentioned before the show started, there is like a Harley Quinn cartoon that he's featured in. He was in The Flash at one point. A version of him is in The Flash. And I forgot where else he was introduced. But, there's going to be a Suicide Squad video game, apparently, that they showed a trailer for over 2 years ago, I feel.
Oh.
Maybe a year ago.
I went on a roller coaster there for a second.
Yeah, they're attempting to put this out. But, yeah, so I think people kind of knew, of him at some point. But I think this is the version people really like. Yeah. For sure. So I was happy to see a good version of him, because like even the one Flash was kind of corny looking. So I was very pleased.
Well, I feel like a lot of people though probably saw the trailer and they were like, "Who is that?
Who is that? That's funny because
yes, you picked up the ball that I threw to you.
In this nerdy spin on the classic game, Guess Who? One host picks a character from the nerdy realms, and the rest of us take turns asking yes or no questions to discover their hidden identity. Let's play Guess Who?
Who? All right. So today we have Mike and Lee playing. So each of you guys have a character picked out, and me and Brett need to start guessing who that character is.
Who's going first?
I've got my character picked out. So I'm ready for you guys to start rolling.
You go first.
Chat, you guys play along too. See if you guys can figure it out before the hosts do.
Okay.
I got my guy.
I'm trying to pay attention. Okay. Is this a villain?
No.
No. Okay. Lee, it's your turn.
Is this a female?
No.
Mario?
Is this character a Marvel character?
Yes, of course.
Well.
All right then.
Okay.
Is this person in phase 1 of the MCU?
No.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Is this person in phase 2 of the MCU? How about, let me rephrase that. Was this character introduced in phase 4?
No.
Okay.
Ooh, I've got the gears turning. I'm
just gonna go with questions I did last time. Does this character have magical powers?
No.
Okay.
It's been a lot of no's, guys. A lot of no's.
Okay. Is this person a sentient robot?
No.
Okay. So I'll just write down not vision.
So if they're not a villain, is this person considered a hero?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this character an Avenger?
Yes. By the end of things.
Oh.
Okay.
Dang, I gave too much information.
Is this person our children's future stepfather?
No.
So not Loki.
No.
So not Vision, not Loki. Okay.
Oh, I got this. Is great. This is going way further than I thought it was going to go.
Wait, what?
Does this person reside on Earth?
Oh, that's a good question. No. That's probably going to narrow the field quite a bit.
Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
So spacey. I'm making notes.
Dang, that was a good question.
It was guessed in the so they are from space.
Is that your question?
Yes.
No, I'm saying the last question.
Yes,
you clarified.
That is the answer. Yes.
I mean, originally
they don't reside on Earth.
They don't reside on Earth. Okay, I'm gonna make a guess. It was a guest in the chat. Is a Star-Lord?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He would be tough. Would he be? He was born on Earth, right?
Yeah. So that's.
But he doesn't reside on Earth.
True.
It was good.
Was this person alive after Avengers Endgame?
Yes. There's not many people.
I was about to say, never mind. That didn't narrow anything down. Lee, over to you.
Is this person humanoid?
Oh, dang it. No.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, is this person female?
No, we've already asked that one.
Was it?
Have you?
Yeah, it's a male.
It's a male.
Oh, yeah.
Did we ask that? Okay.
Yes. Keep up, Mario.
Shut up.
Mario gets penalized 5 points.
Whatever.
On to the next one. 5 points from Gryffindor.
This is hard.
It's not a human person. It's not humanoid.
It's not a human person. Doesn't have superpowers.
There's only 2 characters that I can think of that are not humanoid.
He didn't say they don't have superpowers. He said they're not magic.
They're reside in outer space.
I think the question was, do they have powers? And I answered no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
No powers.
On the wrong thing then.
No powers.
Fine, I'm narrowing it down. Are they a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes.
Okay. Is it Rocket?
Yes, it is Rocket.
James got it. James got it.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, man.
Chat definitely beat us.
Oh,
actually,
man.
I think it was Stoop that had it first. Stoop said
Stoop had to
first. So Stoop and James got it pretty much at the same time. Good job, guys. I was worried that would get picked quick. That question about them not residing on Earth really
helped narrow it down.
It could have been Gru. It could have been Yondu. It could have been.
Yondu is humanoid.
Yeah, I was going with something that you guys wouldn't think I would go with.
Oh,
so.
Well,
success.
Well, yes. Lee, you have to follow that. Let's see what you got.
God, I don't know if you guys. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna give it a go.
All right, Mike, we'll let you ask first.
Lee, is this character a Marvel character?
No.
Okay.
Thank God.
I'm out. See you guys later.
Okay, Mario.
Is this character a Harry Potter character?
Yes.
Ooh, we're in, boys.
This person a Slytherin?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Got lucky on that one.
That was quick.
Okay.
Is this person female?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
It's Mario's turn.
Slytherin female.
I
think
I only know of one off the top of my head.
Okay.
Come on, Mario.
All right. Harry Potter character is this character in the original Harry Potter films?
What do you mean?
Not
Fantastic Beasts in the Harry Potter
like
films.
in the first 8. Yes.
Okay.
Good question.
Good answer.
Does this person does this person kill Penny's favorite person?
Oh,
Penny's favorite person.
Serious?
Oh, I killed Sirius Black.
No.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
So it's not Bellatrix.
It's not. Write that down. Not Bellatrix.
Okay.
I really thought you guys. Holy moly. Okay.
That was just who I thought it was.
Okay.
Now I got you. You guys went from like gleeful to like.
Yes. Now I'm dragging. Is this person a student of Hogwarts?
Like when Harry and them are.
When Harry, yeah, in the films.
Okay.
Not a student.
Not a.
I know that's what I was about to say too.
O.J. Simpson. Not a Jew. Okay. Not Bellatrix. Not a student while Harry and them were.
Now it's back to Mario, I think.
All right, I've seen some. I see
a possible answer.
I don't like looking at the chat.
I'm trying not to look at it,
but I think it might be. But just as a thing here, should I ask? Let's ask. Is it Narcissa Malfoy?
Oh,
No.
What? Okay,
we're gonna have a little problem.
Yeah,
here,
this is really
Slytherin female. I don't know any other Slytherins except for like Malfoy.
That isn't a student.
That is not a student.
Okay, now hold
on. Can I use a lifeline?
Moaning Myrtle was a Ravenclaw, right? She wasn't a Slytherin.
She was not a Slytherin, no.
Oh my!
Wow, I really thought you guys were gonna have this so much faster.
Was this person like a teacher?
Yes.
A teacher? Okay. A female teacher?
What teachers did we have that were Slytherins?
Well, I mean Snape for sure, but he's not a female.
No.
What about was Trelawney? Trelawney's
a Ravenclaw.
Trelawney's not. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me think of this.
Oh, I saw it in chat. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but now I don't want to say it because.
Don't look in chat.
Let me ask the question, then I'll pass it to Mario. Does this person love kitty cats?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's Umbridge.
I completely forgot about
Umbridge.
It's Umbridge. Umbridge was a Slytherin.
Oh, girl, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Lee,
I must not tell lies.
I did not know. Like, I can't imagine Umbridge, who's like all about her appearance, like being brave enough to label herself a Slytherin. Like, she may have a Slytherin heart, but I think she would be like, I'm a Ravenclaw.
I'm a kitty cat claw.
No. She's like all about the pure blood. She's a cutthroat little bitch.
That was a really good one.
That was good.
Lee, we rocked it out on this one. Bumps to the camera. Let's do it.
Bump.
That was tough.
Go.
Oh, man.
That was good.
But ladies,
I did not think that it was going to take you guys that long.
Me neither.
Yeah. Wow.
All right.
Yeah, that was tough.
Guys, each week we scour the headlines in the nerdverse and bring you the best of the best of the best. Sir. Do you know what that's from?
Yeah, Men in Black.
Okay. Move over, J. Jonah Jameson. It's time for friggin' nerd news.
So we've talked about it already a little bit when we did our versus segment because King Shark was in it. Suicide Squad released this past weekend, and it's had a kind of a wish-washy reception in terms of money earned. However, the ratings have been awesome. So let's go over a few of the numbers here, and then we're going to discuss it, okay? So in domestic US, the opening weekend, it only is kind of a weird word for this, but it made 26.5 million bucks. So if you compare that to Black Widow, I think it made
about half, right?
Yeah, Black Widow made double.
Why? Why do you think that is? Because it was on HBO?
I think it's a mix of that, and the Delta variant is probably a little bit more of a concern than it was back.
And the first one was
also
terrible.
Yeah, DC doesn't have a good track record right now. Yeah. So I'm wondering if that plays into it. Like, not enough people listen to our podcast and realize that James Gunn was directing it.
Please watch this. Yeah. The worldwide box office, though, did go up to $72.2 million.
That's terrible.
And that is even with an additional few days, because in the UK it launched on Wednesday, not Friday. So there's even a few extra days padding that number. They actually spent $100 million just on marketing for the film. That's not that's not like the production budget. That's
honestly, I think I saw like one trailer before this movie came out. Like, I don't know where that marketing went.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised about that. I mean, we don't watch too much like actual television. Like we do a lot of internet TV. So yeah, I was thinking we were just missing it. But
just for like comparison, which this is not a fair comparison, but the opening day numbers for Endgame was 157 million.
You can't compare anything to Endgame, man. You can't compare that.
That's awful.
So just for marketing the film over the opening weekend, it didn't make the money back. It had about $185 million budget for the film. So they're in a little bit of a hole. I don't know how much they get from the HBO Max, like subscriptions, because I think that was another issue too, is that 2.8 million households watched it on HBO Max. If all of those people went to the theater, they would have made an additional, I think they would have been over Black Widow's number.
Probably.
Right.
It's just convenient because you don't have to pay extra on HBO Max.
This is right there. It's right there for you. So I don't know. It's interesting. And James Gunn actually had, the director, he actually had a interesting quote about it, because, you know, all this stuff going on with Black Widow, he was like, look, movies didn't get like, you know, they didn't get like boosted up just because they're in theaters. Like he said, I didn't see Jaws in the theater. I saw it on the TV. And that's a classic movie. He's like, I don't care if it's just in theaters or not. Like people are still, you know, going out and seeing the movie.
People are still watching it.
At the time that we wrote the notes, I think it's gone down. No, I think it's still at this. I'm sorry. 91% certified on Rotten Tomatoes. So it was at 96 when we recorded this last week, with it being open to, you know, the more critics. There's 268 reviews, 91%. And then the audience score is at an 84%.
I can't believe the audience score is so low. I really thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
Now we do have almost 4 times the amount of reviews in the audience versus the critics. There's over 1,000 ratings on Rotten Tomatoes to make it 84%.
What you're telling me is haters gonna hate?
Because I thought you were saying there were like 260 reviews total. I was like,
that's for critics.
There's only 260 reviews. That makes more sense now. Okay.
So with all of these numbers, like, do we consider Suicide Squad a flop in the opening weekend?
I hope not.
Like, what do we think about this?
I don't think you have enough information, because this is like post-COVID world. You can't just look at the box office numbers. How do we like, I don't know,
how did this
like monetize the HBO views? Like there has to be a way that you get like a more fair comparison.
How did this compare to Space Jam? Do we know?
Do not know. I do think I remember seeing Space Jam's opening weekend was the same weekend that Black Widow fell so hard. And I think it was around 25 million on opening weekend. It was around this number for Space Jam. So that may be just the trend. I mean, it may just be like around 25 million if you're going to be releasing on HBO Max as well.
It's also tough. That Delta variant is like kicking people's ass right now. COVID numbers are way up. There are countries that are already completely back on lockdown. So I don't think it's fair to call it a flop. It was a really fantastic movie.
Real quick. I mean, I don't want to call it a flop from the standpoint of like how great the movie was and how much I enjoyed it. Money wise though, I mean, the you know, production company is probably like, what is happening? But there's got to be something that with the HBO Max subscriptions that feed into some money.
I was going to say, you know what? I bet you the whole thing with HBO Max is it actually makes sense if you think about it from a money standpoint, because they've got $15 for each of these households coming in every single month. That's like a movie ticket a movie ticket for 2 people every 2 months, right? So you have people consistently paying this, and that is a consistent stream of income. So you're not relying so much on your box office numbers if you've got that money already coming in, right?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that's sort of the trend that HBO is sort of shifting to at this point, is sort of like, we've already got this money that we can front to you to make the movies, and it doesn't really matter if they don't make this money back in the box office because we've already got the money. That's my theory.
If they are like, do they pay, like, does HBO pay them outright for like the exclusive rights to have the movie, or is the amount that they pay the studio based
off views?
I think that I would imagine, so aren't they the same parent company, like parent production, like I think Warner Brothers, like the HBO?
Yeah, I don't know if they're I don't know if they're like sister companies or linked at all, but I know they definitely made the deal for Warner Brothers movies to exclusively, to release in theaters and then exclusively be on HBO Max.
I think it's because HBO Max is linked for sure
to Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's like, I mean, I could be talking out my butt right now.
Here we go. So in chat, we've got a quote. Finally, HBO Max will pay Warner Brothers a fee for its initial 31-day window for the movie on HBO Max. So it sounds like they just
HBO is paying.
So they're just paying them
to have that. Gotcha.
So then, I guess though, to get like a more accurate number, wouldn't you want to add in what HBO paid them, that fee, to have that like pre-release,
that boost? Yeah,
it's tough though, because that's just not just for this movie though. That they had a deal to have all of Warner Brothers movies in 2021 released to HBO Max.
I'm just saying there has to be a way to make that like more accurate.
Yeah. I'm sure at some point there's going to be some like crazy data guy that's going to go based off of this number and this percentage.
Yeah, it's called their accountant at Warner Brothers.
Yeah, that's right.
They say like HBO isn't like Netflix where they limit the amount of screens you have or anything. So it's saying 2.8 million households, but realistically, people share passwords, guys. Like, I feel like it's probably more households than that have watched it.
And it may not be accounts, maybe devices being used to watch it. But the other thing to think about too is inside the household, like we watched it.
Yeah.
There was 3 of us watching
4 or 5
it.
People,
so
yeah.
Right. So this number is probably way bigger in reality for sure. Real quick before we jump off of Suicide Squad, because I think that's the biggest news we have for this week. There's not.
That's crazy slow this week.
Real quick though, let's go around the windows here and give it a quick rating. What did you guys think of it overall? Just real quick brief. And then who was your standout character? Who were you most surprised with in the Suicide Squad? Remember, this movie's only been out for a few days, so let's not get too detailed. But yeah, overall ratings. What did y'all think?
I'll go first. I would rate it an 8.5, and I liked Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man.
I love a rainbow.
Milton died.
I really love him.
Are you kidding me right now?
He's still with us?
Oh. All right, what else? What do you guys have?
I'm giving it, I think I would give it an 8.5. Not a perfect movie, but a really good time. I actually know what, I'll give it a 9. I think I would give it a 9. It's a good time. Miles better than the first Suicide Squad. No, I know a few people in the chat said they kind of enjoyed it, but it just, compared to the other one, so much better. Great art. I love James Gunn's art style. The way he shoots things is so much fun. And honestly, Idris Elba was my favorite part. I thought he was going to be the weakest character.
He was great.
I thought he's fantastic. We have some great news about him later on in the show. Yeah. But he's great. And of course, Sly Stallone, as we talked about before, hilarious.
Nom nom.
What a weird character for him to portray. A legendary actor. But now he's playing sharks now, so I give it 9.
All right, Lee.
I am gonna go with an 8.5, but only because I'm a wicked weenie and I hate gore, and there was a lot of that in this movie.
There was a lot, yeah. I mean, this was
there was, but it was like funny. It was like
funny, but it was also like
Saw
it's a lot
gore.
for me.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah,
it was like people's heads blowing up, and
it definitely is matching up with like Deadpool on levels of like gore. Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go with. So you went 8.5, Lee?
Yeah, and for favorite character thing, I forget her name, but the rat girl,
Rat Catcher 2.
Yes, yeah. Like I was like, there were points where I was almost crying when the rat went into, like when Sebastian went into the eye, and I was like, if this rat doesn't make it out, I swear to God, like. Seriously, it was like I had a deep emotional connection to rats, and I never thought that was going to ever be possible.
That's the other thing. I feel like I cared about all of the characters too.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
He did such a good job.
For Suicide Squad, I didn't have that, whatever. But I cared about Harley. I cared about Deadshot, but I didn't care about the other characters. But I cared about every single one of these characters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Mario. I'm going to go with a 9. I was I was anticipating this movie I was like, dude, this is going to be so good. It was better than what I thought it was going to be.
It was way better than I was expecting. I thought it was so
one good. Of the points that I don't want to repeat everybody, so I'm going to bring up the art. Like it was so artistic in some parts too.
Yes,
the way that
that's what we were just talking about in chat. Harley's scene.
Yeah, Harley's scene with the flowers and the birds.
Bananas. Yeah.
Oh, that was so beautiful.
All the way that he
so grossly beautiful.
All the ways that he like transitioned to where he used the environment instead of just putting text on the screen.
That was the coolest.
That was so brilliant. And I can't wait. I mean, James Gunn.
Now you're going to start seeing that everywhere.
Yeah, it's going to be.
They did that kind of with Sweet Tooth, didn't they? I think that was the first time that I started.
Yeah, they did a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he did this throughout the whole movie. And I thought I definitely am with you, Mike. That was so cool.
Like I've been a James Gunn fan. I thought he's been he's done really well with Guardians, but this movie, man, he's up there on my top. He's like up there in my top, top directors. So he did such a good job. Favorites character, surprise character. I mean, King Shark blew my mind. I loved him so much. But I've got to bring this up because Stoop asked in the chat. John Cena, he shocked me.
Yeah.
He acted very well in this movie.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this character was made for him.
Yeah. He was.
But he was also way more crude than I was expecting him to be. Like he's a very stand-up kind of guy.
Yeah.
And he got real down and dirty in this movie, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing that side of him.
I love
Starfish Cena. Is a slang for butthole.
Yeah. Yep. So
my favorite when you did this thing. I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, I know, right? I'm super stoked to see what they do with Peacemaker's TV show that's coming out in January on HBO. It's being produced by James Gunn. 5 of the episodes are being directed by James Gunn. And of course, James Gunn is coming back to Marvel to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
This is a busy man.
Let's just do it, James Gunn.
Give him all the money.
Honestly, yes. James Gunn is the next Steven Spielberg, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he's revolutionizing.
That's a big shoes to fill.
Cinema.
There,
revolutionizing cinema.
Well. We've been obsessed for our whole relationship with J.J. Abrams. Man, James Gunn is getting up there with old JJ. But yeah, so we were talking about going to the theaters to go see movies. There is a new movie coming out this weekend exclusively to theaters.
That is so weird to hear that. Like, right? It's exclusive to theaters.
That movie is Free Guy. It's Ryan Reynolds' new flick that looks hysterical. It's releasing Friday only to theaters. Currently, we have 87 critic reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's certified fresh as well. So we're getting a lot of good movies in the last week.
Shocked. I'm excited for this. It looks hilarious.
I was going to say, is anyone like shocked that it got such good reviews? Because I thought
this was going to get terrible.
I did too. I thought it was going to just fly under the radar. But for those that don't know what this movie is, Ryan Reynolds plays a character named Guy, and he's in an open world video game, Free City. And Guy's a non-player character. Those that don't play video games, that's somebody that just like programmably just does the same thing over and over, and like it's not a player character. And he works as a bank teller. And thanks to a program inserted into the game by programmers, Guy becomes self-aware of his world being a video game and takes steps to make himself the hero, creating a race against time to save the game before the developers shut it down.
Yeah, this reminds me of like Truman Show, Wreck-It Ralph, yes. The Lego movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited. And then we have friggin' Ryan Reynolds, who's one of my favorite people. He's so fucking sarcastic.
Oh, yes. The one thing I wanted to bring up, though, we've retweeted this on our Twitter. I'm not sure, Mario, if you grabbed these images or not.
Oh, yeah.
But all of the posters that they've used to promote this movie coming out this week have been so awesome. They've been brilliant. They're recreating classic video game cover art or posters,
which
is
kind of like what Ryan Reynolds does. Like he does
so Ryan Reynolds.
That's his marketing style all over it.
So up on the screen we've got Mario 64, Doom, Animal Crossing. Like this is such a brilliant idea to promote this movie. So funny. And so that they did these posters, but they also, if you guys remember a couple weeks ago, they did that trailer review with Deadpool and Korg reviewing the trailer. They had to pay for Korg to be in that. Like they are paying a butt ton to market this.
But also voicing Korg was Taika Waititi, who's in this movie, and I think James has said it in the chat. He's directing this too, right?
Yeah.
So that I'm sure that was a little less of an arm pull there to get him into that into that ad. But like that was brilliant, and like this, Ryan Reynolds kills it. I think we talked about it before. You know, Deadpool, like, you know, Walmart came out with all the alternate like movie covers, like I think it was like Perfect Storm, Fight Club, and they had Deadpool in the
you got
cover.
A couple of them.
I have I collected as many as I could. Like I think it's a Forrest Gump one, I think, too. A bunch of funny ones that I collected when those were out. And I would love to see if they have these out there somewhere, like for the DVDs, like when they come out free. I love the Mario 64 one's hilarious.
Yeah.
But genius, just like the amount of money this guy spends on advertising alone is ridiculous. So I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, I'm stoked to see this. So we're planning anyway to go see it this weekend if we can get a little date night action.
Yeah, a date night. I don't think that's happened since those pre-COVID days.
So
Mario, you think we could go in New York?
No.
Well, we got like a million things going on in New York, but if we have a minute, that'd be great.
You're in New York.
Britt, what are your expectations?
I'm gonna look up some movie times.
What are your expectations of this movie?
I have very high expectations. I have absolutely no doubt that I will love it at all.
Wow.
I'm gonna love it.
That's
a video game movie. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, but it's Ryan Reynolds. Like Ryan Reynolds, we speak the same language. It's the language that made my mother hate me. The language of sarcasm.
Yes.
I love him, and this is going to be hilarious and perfect. And if it comes with popcorn, with unlimited amounts of butter and a cold icy, then
you're down.
Done.
You're in.
I love my ices.
You're in for
too.
it. So as always, each week we try to bring you guys up to speed on Marvel news. So we got a little segment here. We're going to fly through some headlines from Marvel. Not too much happened this week, guys. So we're going to go through this pretty quick. Just a reminder, the What If series premieres tonight/tomorrow. So,
what? I thought it was next week.
No, bro, it is tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Mama's staying up.
Yes. And the first episode is going to center around Captain Carter. There's actually been quite an uprising on Twitter marketing. We were talking about marketing genius. Evidently, this was a surprise that Captain Carter popped in to Captain America's Twitter page. People are saying that she is not Captain America. She is.
Well, she's Captain Britain, so I see the issue. There.
Yeah.
So, I understand that they were trying to do from a marketing standpoint. But
I think it's the takeover. I think they're going to rotate each episode. That character from What Ifs, that episode is going to take over that marketing, aspect of the thing. But either way, I'm stoked to see it. It's premiering tomorrow. I'm going to be so stoked to watch it.
This show is going to suck us in officially to like Marvel cinematic multiverse. Like this, guys, we've been saying it. You have to watch this if you're an MCU fan, because this is not like some like cool standalone thing anymore. This matters now.
Speaking of multiverse, there is no trailer still for Spider-Man 3 No Way Home. This is kind of crazy.
Guys, it's getting funny.
We're getting to a point where I think Brooke actually put a meme up that was joking around about it, that they're planning on not even having a trailer. and honestly, I started to think about it, and I'm like, I don't know.
How insane would that be to walk into this movie and never have seen a trailer? Like, have no idea. That would hype it up even more.
I don't know if they need it though. Like, I really don't think they need a trailer for a Marvel movie as big as Spider-Man.
I mean, it'd be nice. I mean, to step into my shout out to my good pal Alex Lopez, who listens every week. He refuses to watch movie trailers at all. He dodges them all because the one that got him was Captain America Winter Soldier, because in the trailer they actually spoil that Bucky is the Winter Soldier.
Oh, are you serious?
So that is what stopped him.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah. So that's what stopped him from wanting to watch trailers.
What they didn't spoil in that though was that Bucky was a big ass whiner
at that point, and then he comes full circle with his store-bought cake.
Exactly.
And then it changed.
So I don't know. It might be a good feeling to like maybe not, because I always say like, because he said in the past like, Mario, try it, and I can't. I can never.
I can't, dude.
Especially being someone who like has to review this stuff and talk about it on a podcast. It's tough. But with this, it might be nice to come into it with fresh eyes and not knowing, because I know we're overhyped with Tobey Maguire and whatever's going to be showed up. Maybe it's all just a work and it's not going to happen. So maybe that's why they're not showing a trailer. So when we go to the movies, who knows? It could be maybe that people get pissed off, start throwing popcorn at the screen. Who knows? But
I'm telling you, Mario, they shot this entire movie without Toby and Andrew. And the reason we don't have a trailer is because currently they're reshooting almost the entire movie to just have them cameo in it.
It's gonna look like a high school movie project because they're Russian.
They look like Spider-Man in the picture right now. They're like sitting like, man, we really got to get these guys in the movie right now. This is tough. That was just a joke. But yeah, it might be a nice feeling because like I said, I talked about this almost every episode. I'm very nervous about this movie. At the same time, very excited. I love Spider-Man, my favorite Marvel character since I was a little kid. I have all the comics. I have everything. I love Spider-Man. But I think maybe not having a trailer might be a good thing.
It was a joke originally, and then the more I thought about it, I was like,
it would be really unprecedented.
Right. Of any movie, like I feel like that probably doesn't need a trailer for people.
No, if you just gave us a date, we're all gonna go.
Right. So we're getting all of our Spider-Man movie news from toys being released right now. So we're gonna try to keep that train rolling for you. If we see another toys release,
I just thought of this.
Yeah.
So they announced all the the first couple of What If episodes, right?
Yes. Well, yes, I think so.
Like Peggy's first episode, I think the Star-Lord episode's second. What if they're just waiting for the Spider-Man episode?
What if?
And then they drop a trailer.
The zombie hunter Spider-Man?
So maybe because the second that they showed the picture of him with the cape on, I'm like, oh, okay, so that's definitely going to tie into.
Maybe it'll be like an end scene, like a post-credit scene after that.
They put the trailer in the show.
That would be awesome.
That'd be genius. That'd be genius.
I would piss myself.
Yeah,
I just gave myself goosebumps.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Mari. That may be what they're waiting on. I have tried to make excuses for them though, just like that though. I'm like, maybe they waited to the end of Loki. Next week we're gonna get one. Spider-Man Day is happening. Today was Peter Parker's birthday. I'm like, come on, guys, just drop a trailer. Anyway, we'll see. What we have seen some trailers for though, because this is still on track.
I'm actually seeing these all the time.
It's all over the place. Shang-Chi is not hitting any delays. There was a little bit of a worry a couple weeks ago that, oh crap, I just said it. That was the word.
You said the word.
I don't even know if I've said it previously. Sorry. So there was a little bit of a worry that this was going to be pushed back because of the Delta variant, but they have hushed all of those rumors with the marketing out of the wazoo. I'm seeing it everywhere. There's trailers popping up on Hulu and stuff for Shang-Chi. Still coming out September 3rd. That's only in a few weeks, y'all. It's only in a few weeks.
I am really freaking nervous about that.
Yes.
I will not believe that there won't be delays until it happens, because COVID is getting so bad. Like the next few weeks are going to be so rough. And I'm like,
is also theater only. Well,
that's what I'm saying. Like, yes. I don't believe that they're not going to push this back.
I will say this though. I did look this up. There is I think it's a 45, it's either a 31 or a 45 day exclusive window for Shang-Chi being in theaters. I don't know if that said for sure it's going to be on Disney Plus right after those 45 days are up. But I did see that it's a fairly small window. I mean, usually you wait a while for those to come out.
Right.
On Disney
they can't really afford another lawsuit like Black Widow. So
Yes.
they're just like, all right, we'll give you 30 days in the theater and then everybody else can pay for it on Disney Plus.
That's right.
Don't worry. Right. They can afford it. They own like the whole world, at least a good 3/4 of it.
Exactly.
All right. So jumping out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we are jumping into the Upside Down.
Stranger stuff.
I see what you did there. Yeah. So the trailer came out for season 4. It was good. We saw like a bunch of scenes from like the previous seasons. Get us all hyped up. The big thing that everybody's talking about was the date being 2022.
Yeah, because originally they were planning on late 2021.
Right. So here's a little thought. This was not my thought. This was MT over on Rogue Theory on
New Rockstar's
channel. So there's like 2 like grandfather looking clocks. There are 2 different ones that appear in the trailer. The thought is possibly those grandfather clocks are some sort of like portal between like the Vanishing Cabinet in Harry Potter. But because like they had a straight on shot of it, and you heard it like chiming for the 12 o'clock hour, like that was like a really prominent thing in the trailer. And because they kind of like to release on holidays. So season 1, we checked. Season 1, Halloween. Season 2, 4th of July. What if they're just being cheeky with us on the 2022? What if it releases on New Year's Eve?
What?
So
that would still be 2021.
New Year's Day. You totally missed
I'm
it.
sorry. No,
so like we're thinking it's going to be further into 2022,
but instead
it's going to be like the first day of 2022, which would make a lot of sense with the clock chiming midnight and
that would be interesting.
Yeah, I was like
because it's a Netflix show.
Right, so they can release it whenever they
drop
want.
entire seasons at once. So at midnight, New Year's Day, boom, Stranger Things is there.
Welcome into your new year. You're going to spend the first 10 hours of it watching this new season.
Exactly.
That's
I think
really
that would
good.
be really cool because they like to release
around holidays.
On holidays.
Yeah.
And it would make sense because people with their hangovers are going to be sitting nursing their hangovers on the couch watching Stranger Things.
What they're doing, and they're looking forward, and they're like, oh, Delta. yeah, we're not going to have any fun New Year's Eve celebrations. So let's drop it then because everybody's going to be sitting at home for New Year's Eve again.
That's pretty cool. I love that idea.
I know.
That's accurate.
Dig that MT. It was either MT or Eric Voss.
So the biggest thing too, just real quick, since we want to talk about this for a second, are you guys big Stranger Things fans?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, the biggest thing that's
Penny
been revealed
Lane has just started watching.
Yeah, we just started. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous
I'm
about her watch.
She can handle it. She's a big girl. She's in middle school.
She watched Vision's face get like.
Yeah, there's some pretty creepy things in this show, though. So, but anyway, so we're starting to rewatch it. But the thing that's been revealed, and this was earlier on too, when they were doing like teasers before the pandemic, that Hopper is alive, right? He is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was in like
this is in the marketing, so it's not a spoiler.
Credit scene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. He's my favorite character. I love.
Yeah,
Dave
he's
Harbour.
back. He was. He like wakes up in some like Siberian or like Russian prison or something in the post-credit scene. So at some point he gets out.
Yeah.
And poor 11, she was like, we left her when she was in the car. They were headed to California. She was going to start her life, California girl. And it looks like no, they're pulling her back just when she thought she was going to get out.
That's right.
Live her life. She's headed back to the upside down.
Never gonna happen.
Sorry, girl. Sorry.
Oh my God, guys! What if they're gonna tie it into Black Widow and he's in Russia and
then he becomes Red Guardian.
And then he becomes Red Guardian.
That would be.
Hopper's a variant of Red Guardian.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, speaking of red things, Mario, I think you are super stoked about this last bit of news that we have.
So excited. So a movie that came out, was it last year or the year before?
It was 2 years ago.
I have no concept of time anymore. Sonic the Hedgehog. Always been a huge Sonic fan. I was very excited for the movie. It was a good time. But one thing was missing, and that was Sonic's best pals. At the end of the movie, we did see Tails for a hot second, so we know he's coming back. But today, we got an even better character revealed. Idris Elba tweeted out a photo of the iconic Knuckles of Knuckles. And I am extremely excited. He is voicing the character of Knuckles in the second movie, which releases in 2022. And I could not be more excited. I think this is a great choice. I think it's going to be fantastic. This. Like I can hear his voice through Knuckles, like just because some people kind of like talking trash and saying it's like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work out, blah blah. Seems kind of weird. And Alba kills it in everything he does. Yes. There's a reason why people want him to be James Bond. You know what I mean? He is fantastic.
He would make a great James Bond.
He would make a great James Bond. I know people are kind of like, weirded out by it, but no, he would kill it as James Bond. But yeah, he's coming out as Knuckles, and I'm very excited. Now, my question, we have a couple of discussion questions here. I could tell Mike wrote these.
Oh, yes.
Who is better, Sonic or Knuckles? And does anyone even like Tails? I love Tails. I love Tails.
Come on, guys.
I liked Tails.
Oh man,
he had the airplane. He used to help Sonic when he needed to get up places and stuff.
Yeah, he used to fly with his tails. He was
that too.
He was fine, I guess. But Knuckles is by far the best character in Sonic. Like by far,
wow, we got a real hater
coolest.
Over here.
Now, this is the problem, though, as I fall in love with those types of characters because Knuckles is the anti-hero. He started off as a antagonist to Sonic, and he becomes part of his crew.
Which I'm assuming that's how he comes into this, because I think mentioned in the notes, I couldn't find the picture for some reason. They did have those placeholders of Knuckles and Sonic and all of them in what looked like a street fight of some kind. So I'm assuming that Eggman's coming back and he might be working with Knuckles, or Knuckles is working for him. So I'm assuming that's where it's going to start off, and that he's going to be the villain in this movie, and Sonic and Tails. I'm assuming. I think they it's genius. They really are kind of following like the games in a way, because the first one was Sonic, and then now we have Sonic and Tails, and then now we have the rest of the game. I think we're gonna start. I don't know how many they plan on doing, but if they want to keep on doing like a Sonic universe, eventually bring in like I want Biggs the cat. I don't know if anyone knows who Biggs the cat is. He's one of my favorite.
I remember Biggs.
He's like the big blue cat. He always goes fishing, and his little froggy friend, Froggy.
Yes.
He's the best. Shout out to Biggs the cat, guys.
Shout out to Biggs.
You guys know, but the true believers know who Biggs the cat is. But yeah, I'm super excited for this, man. I think it's gonna be a good time. Like the first one, I love the first one. I mean, Jim Carrey stole it.
We need to watch the first one. I know there was a huge, fix that they did right on the animation of Sonic
with the teeth.
Yeah,
Sonic looked terrible the first draft. People bitch about it so much, and they fixed it. And he looks way better. It's like, why try to make him like look realistic? Like it's a cartoon hedgehog. Make him
terrifying. You should not have dentures.
I'll look at the old concept from it. I was like the old trailer compared. And it's like, man, what were they doing? Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I'm excited for this. Do you think we get a Ugandan Knuckles meme in this movie? Because we got a Sonic meme in the first one. Remember the guy? Oh, you haven't seen it yet. But there's a couple of Sonic memes in the first one.
Yeah, we need to watch it though, especially with Penny or something.
If we get Alba saying, "Do you know the way?" I will cry. I will laugh so hard if he says that. But so that's about it, guys. Get ready next year, Sonic Mania, brother. It's gonna be a fun time.
Sonic Mania coming to a theater near you. Yeah, it is set to release 2022.
Oh
I don't know if we said that. So sometime next year. No exact release date.
But ladies and gentlemen, that's been the Friggin' Nerds news for the week, meaning only one thing. It's your favorite part of the show. It's main event time. It's time for your Friggin' Nerds draft. What are we drafting today, guys?
We are, in spirit of the biggest news that we had, we are building our own Suicide Squad. Now, this doesn't mean we're picking DC Suicide Squad members and assembling the best four. No, we're picking the best villains that we feel would fit into a Suicide Squad team.
Any villain, any fandom,
any villain,
anything.
We tend to like think of an idea and then we go, how can we make this like 10 times bigger?
Harder.
10 times cooler, and that's when we start having the crossovers and we're getting characters together. So
all right, get your dice out.
We will say Britt did steal another victory at the last minute. That's a tough roll, babe. I'm sorry. Last minute, the last poll, Britt stole it from Lee again.
Did I really?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know how. You were trailing the whole week, and then the last 3 days, all of a sudden you were like,
I don't know who that was. Thanks, guys.
She was slowly gaining steam all week. I saw people posting in there.
I'm like the little engine that could.
But current standings right now for our nonsense draft. Britt has 7 points. Lee has 5. I have 4, and Mario has 3. So it's still very close. It
is. I really feel like this season, anything goes.
I know.
Like anyone could win it, realistically.
All right, so let's roll for initiative. Let's see the order of our
2.
draft
What
picks.
did you get?
I have a 5.
I rolled a 12.
I have a, what is that? Oh, 15.
Ooh.
All right, here we go. We've got Mario, Lee, and then Mike, and then myself.
Oh man, this is going to be such a hard one here.
I'm excited about this one. I love me some villains.
You do love some villains.
These are my people.
All right, Mario, you got the first pick, bro.
Villains here. One of my favorite fandoms of all time has some of the best villains of all time. So I'm going to go with
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
Of course.
Who didn't see that one coming?
Yeah, I know. I saw. I didn't even write.
I didn't even write Vader
down because I knew Mario was going to go after him. You know what's funny though? For a Suicide Squad, I could see Anakin like I mean, it's still Darth Vader, but I could see his like get up as like Anakin at the end of episode 3 in Suicide Squad, right before he, gets maimed.
All right, Lee, you're up.
All right. So I have recently developed a newfound love for this character because we recently watched Birds of Prey. And
oh, yes.
I literally this is so unoriginal because she's actually part of the Suicide Squad, but I gotta go with my girl Harley Quinn.
Okay.
She's just, that movie really solidifies her for me as like one of my all-time favorite villains. Villains.
All right. So Harley Quinn is back in the Suicide Squad.
Are we fighting each other, or is
see, that's the thing with some of these drafts. Are we fighting each other, or are we just assembling a team of cool?
I think we're just assuming we're assembling the best team we can to complete a mission, as would be a Suicide Squad.
Are they going to be in a movie together?
Here's how I see it. Here's how I see it. The viewers are Amanda Wallace, and they are picking what team she wants to go out there.
Okay.
What team? Gotcha. Waller. Is it Waller? Wallace?
Waller. Yeah.
Waller. You Walrus. Are picking Walrus. I am the Walrus. You pick what team you want is the best to go out there.
Gotcha. All right. So I'm up next, right?
Yep, you're up next.
Well, Lee got a very solid pick then, because we know that Amanda Wallace Waller once Harley Quinn.
now
Slip of the tongue, see what happens.
Yep.
There we go.
All right. Look, this pick is going to be such a beneficial player for Amanda Walrus's team. Okay.
Amanda the Walrus.
He can he is combat centric. He can fly around really fast, and he's not even a person. I'm going with Starscream from Transformers.
Okay.
As my first selection.
You bastard.
I feel like I could go Megatron, but I feel like Suicide Squad is there for those the vice president of the bad guys is the Suicide Squad, so I'm going Starscream.
How would that work? Just out of curiosity, the logistics of it, because she plants an exploding device in the base of their skull. I feel like he could just
virus.
I mean, anybody.
A virus, that's interesting. I'm not negating what you're saying. I'm just wondering.
I didn't think that far into my selection.
We don't have to.
Yeah.
No, it's just sorry, my Ravenclaw brain, guys. I'm sorry.
Starscream is my selection.
Also, they definitely had Transformers in prison. If you watch the later Transformers,
I'm not saying they didn't. I was just wondering how.
Stoop did. Stoop asked, "How you gonna put Starscream in prison?" Easily.
Oh.
I'm afraid you guys are gonna fight me on this. But
no.
Suicide Squad, to me, it's all about those gray characters.
Yeah.
Right. You said
you can have Loki.
On,
that's fine.
If it's not Loki, you said before we came on that if they were ever considered a villain.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna take Scarlet Witch.
Ooh.
Okay.
She was absolutely a villain of her own show.
Okay.
And on top of that is being set up as the villain for Doctor Strange.
Okay. Yeah, I will. I think I can allow that. Mario and Lee, are we allowing this?
I'll allow it.
I could see her on the Dark Avengers.
I think.
Yeah.
I think she's about to be the bad guy.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's where this is
That was good. That was a good one. Dang it.
My second one,
solid pick,
is going to be. Do we go Donald Trump? Or
oh Lord,
Donald Trump.
Well, it's about villains, right?
Oh no.
Now listen there, I'm gonna get all the Infinity Stones and I'm gonna stab you all, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna go with Grindelwald.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
That hurts a little bit. Oh man, that was a good pick, babe.
Thanks.
That was a good, solid pick.
All right, I'm gonna throw it back over there to you.
Oh man! All right, so we've got Starscream. Oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna dip into the wizarding world. I think too. And I think I can see this character 100% just like wrecking face. Would she be like, I mean, if she was forced to I'm gonna go with Bellatrix. I'm going Bellatrix.
That was high up on my list.
Yeah, I'm going Bellatrix
Come on,
with
Mike.
my second pick.
Yeah, that's so good.
How are you gonna steal my
love
Wizarding
her.
World? Damn.
Gosh, I love her.
Yeah, because like I was gonna say, would she choose to help things? But these people aren't really choosing; they're being forced, or their head explodes.
I would love to see her being controlled with like a, I would love to see that, like her not having a choice.
Yes, Bellatrix.
Okay, Lee, you are up.
Well, shit, Mike.
I blew your draft up, didn't I?
You blew my draft right up.
I had a feeling that you would dip into Harry Potter.
No. Really?
So I was like, I'm going to take who I want out of that now.
Okay. I guess I'm going to come back to my favorite fandom. And I am going to go with Hela.
Oh.
Where is it? Here we go.
Oh, snap.
Hela from MCU?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man.
That was on my list. It's a really good choice. I just was not expecting you to pick Hela.
That's a very
I got a little bit of a theme going
pick.
On here. So
I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh man.
Mario, you have two back-to-back.
I didn't even
picks.
think about Hela. That's a great pick.
Very good. All right. I have two myself, right? Let's see.
You have two, yeah, back to back.
So I'm kind of going fun with this one. I like to have fun. So for my two, I'm gonna go with one of my favorite villains from when I was a kid, from Masters of the Universe, Skeletor.
Skeletor.
Yes. I love a good Skeletor.
Love it.
And then, so many villains, so little time.
I know, man. There's so many picks here.
But I guess I'll dip into Marvel. I think I'm gonna go with.
Oh, who's it gonna be?
I'm like stuck between a few.
Yeah.
I think I'll just take him. Thanos.
Oh,
here we go.
Good one.
Dang, that's a good one.
All right,
I
Lee.
am inevitable.
Let's see how you fill this out. Yeah, I am inevitable. What's next in your theme?
Oh, Lord. All right. I think. Oh, Lord. So every team sort of needs a strategist, right? Because Harley Quinn's a little bit of a wild card. Hela's kind of in it for the long game, but I feel like she's more of like the, like the commander in chief. So in terms of like long game strategist, I think I'm going to go with Cersei Lannister.
Oh, Game of Thrones. I didn't even think about Game of Thrones characters. Oh my gosh. I just need to walk off this show right now. You guys are way more prepared for this than I didn't even think about Game of Thrones.
Cersei is freaking terrifying, that one.
She is.
Dang, man. That was good. All right. Who do I go with here? I think, man, there's a lot of them that I'm looking at.
I know I have so many on my list.
I really think I just blew that pick a little bit. Like I should have picked. There are like 6 other ones that I was like,
really? I know. I think that's a really good pick.
That was great. That was a good solid pick. I think I'm gonna go with. Yeah, I'm gonna go kind of crazy here, guys. I think I'm gonna go into a fandom that I don't think you guys are expecting. I'm gonna go with Predator as my selection.
Okay.
In my Suicide Squad.
Predator. Okay.
Predator.
That's a weird pick.
Does Arnold Schwarzenegger come with Predator? No.
You could have picked Mr. Freeze, and then you could have
Mr. Freeze,
the Arnold version.
Oh my goodness!
Now it's time to break the ice.
Yes.
That means that I have my last two picks back to back, and oh man, this is super, super hard.
Yeah, you've got a giant list over there. Like it is multiple columns worth of people.
Well, because I have some that I really love, but I'm like, but am I like going for power here or just like fun?
We're going fun. We're going all out fun here.
Okay.
Ain't nobody got time for power.
If that's the case, I have a little cushion in my points right now. So I feel like
if I so you're gonna gamble a little bit, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a little crazy. I'm gonna go with Pennywise.
Oh no, you can't draft a clown.
And then I think you should put photos in it this time. And just leave it up on your computer screen. Mike's petrified.
No, I hate clowns, guys. I cannot do that. My team would run from your team immediately.
And last but not least,
oh man,
I'm gonna have to go with. I picked this once before, I believe. The smoke monster from Lost.
I saw that in the chat earlier. That was a good.
Who said that in chat?
I don't remember. I think it was Steph actually.
Oh, yeah. Steph. Great minds. Great minds.
All right, you guys cannot vote for Britt because she drafted a clown. Clowns are not allowed on the show.
Did that for you.
All right, there's a ton of people that I want to draft here, but I just want to go to my heart. My heart is singing to me. Oh man, there's two of them that I really want. My heart is singing. Okay, I'm gonna pivot because Predator is very similar to one of the other guys I was gonna pick. I think I'm going to just go whenever you think anti-hero, whenever you think of that like gray character. The first one I always go to, and I'm very surprised that Mario hasn't snagged this one yet. It's in the Marvel universe. I'm going with Venom. I think Venom is going to go fit very nicely into my Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Yeah. I really wanted to draft another one that was more fun, but he has very similar tool set to what Predator has. And I'll let you guys know who that is after the draft.
Okay.
All right. So it's passing on to Lee.
All right. Well, I, at this point, sort of need more, I think, of like a utility type character. Like, your classic run of the mill anti-hero. So I think for this last one, I was really torn because I wanted to go Dolores Umbridge. I really did. But in terms of her skill set, like what's she good at? Torture. She's real good at torture.
And petting cats.
Yeah, and petting cats. I'm gonna go with Catwoman. Speaking of cats.
She was on my list. Yes, she was on my list.
Who? I'm sorry, I was reading chat.
Catwoman.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
So you got a Birds of Prey movie starting here with four girls in the Suicide Squad, huh?
I do. I had an all-girl squad.
I like it.
Mario with our final pick.
Okay. I got Vader. I got what's that pick? Skeletor. I got Thanos. I kind of want to do a Potter character, but I feel like the Potter character I'm going to pick is not going to be that popular, so I think I'm going to pass from that.
Neville, I'm
going to go Neville. Like the biggest villain, the real villain.
7th movie Neville, though. I'm here for it.
So I think just like Ty said, I'm going to go for a meme character, one of the best villains of all time, which I think will really freaking get it going or to get Dr. Evil.
I had that on my list. I almost swear to God, I almost thought you were gonna go with Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs. He's not a villain.
Oh my gosh.
Mr. Krabs is not a villain.
Plankton would have been the
Plankton would have been a great villain.
Mr. Krabs is part villain, okay?
Yeah, he's absolutely a villain.
So I have several people that I just want to spout out from my list. But the one that I almost picked in my last pick, my childhood villain that I grew up with the most was Shredder from the Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
But I was afraid that like he's got like the claws on his hand, and so does Predator. I was like, yeah, they're kind of he's a much more tame version of Predator. So
couldn't do it.
Voldemort, of course, was there.
Yeah.
Joker, of course, was in that list. I'm looking at James's list here.
I specifically had Jack Nicholson Joker on mine.
Oh,
Jack
yeah.
Nicholson Joker. I thought about Voldemort, and the other Harry Potter character I thought of, because we just watched this movie, I want Barty Crouch Jr. Because I love David Tennant, but he's not in the movie enough. He should be in the movie more. He's a fantastic actor. That was another one I was thinking of, but I feel like no one's going to care.
Mr. Smith is a very sneaky pick as well.
That Mario, we still have to watch The Matrix.
You need to watch The Matrix. Yeah, we'll have to watch them soon.
Yeah, it's good.
Some that I had put and did not use. Mephisto.
Oh yes, yeah, that'd be a good one.
Vavos from Act 2.
Kylo Ren, Gator Loki.
Gator Loki. If you put Gator Loki in any poll right now, it wins.
I know, right?
Doesn't even matter what the topic
I had
is.
Beetlejuice. I had Dracula.
Beetlejuice.
I had Bruce from Jaws.
Bruce.
Yeah, the shark.
The
Oh,
shark.
is the shark named Bruce?
Mm-hmm.
That's the name of my fanny pack. Name is Bruce.
Oh, yes.
I had Captain Hook.
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
He's not really.
The Grandmaster from Sakaar.
Oh, I love the Grandmaster.
Yes.
Yeah, I had so many.
Sparkles.
I could keep going.
Oh, Sylvie would have been a great pick.
Sylvie.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked nobody. Oh, I thought Britt would pick Kang the Conqueror or something.
That would have been a good pick as
Why
well.
did I don't even have Kang on my list. What the heck?
Yeah, well, that's a surprise.
Dang it.
I thought that
I
was
had
the first
Maleficent.
one.
I had Yennefer. Maleficent.
Jennifer is good.
I should have picked, so I didn't write her down, and that was my downfall. So instead of Cersei, I was gonna go with Daenerys, because technically she becomes a villain at the end.
She did turn
And I was
pale.
gonna go Daenerys, and instead I blanked and said Cersei instead. So that's who I got.
I think Cersei is more terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, you
I
said
think
you were
so.
trying to get like a tactical, like, I mean, she is super smart.
Yeah.
In all aspects of everything. She was crazy.
We did not pull from Lord of the Rings. I had Sauron and Gollum both on my list. I didn't pick either of them, but
Negan would. I just thought about Negan.
Oh, Negan would have been
That was good.
yeah.
And I had some. And I had a few Disney ones too. I was thinking of like I know Lee had Maleficent on her list. I was thinking Gaston. I love Gaston.
Oh,
Yes.
And stuff like
Jafar.
Ursula.
Negan
The flight attendant from the
Suicide
duct tape.
Squad.
Yeah,
Like-
Negan would have been great. I just thought of that now. I'm like, shit. I saw the Funko Pop. Like I have a Negan Funko Pop right here. I just saw him in the corner of my eye, and I was like, oh, I should have picked Negan.
Yes.
There he
Man,
is.
that would have been a good one. We should have had like 8 rounds. We should have drafted.
Also wanted Magneto. That one was pretty high on my
Magneto,
list because I
yeah.
love Magneto. But
That'd be a good one. Would Gambit be considered a villain? Like an anti-hero villain? I don't know. He's like Wolverine, I guess, where they're both kind of like a grumpy
I feel
hero.
like you could put. I feel like anybody like that could work.
Could have worked.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
let's draft round 2 right now.
We'll do
Oh
that,
my
but let's at
God.
least
No,
recap.
it's about to hit murder o'clock.
Yeah, let's at least recap the team so we can get out of here so Lee can go to bed.
Alrighty, guys. Mario's team. We have Darth Vader, Skeletor, Thanos, and Dr.
I
Evil.
thought it said Dr. Phil for a second.
Dr.
Now
Phil.
you gotta get real.
Lee, with our all-girls team, we have Harley Quinn, Hela, Cersei Lannister, and Catwoman. Mike has got Starstream. That was a good pick.
Stream.
Why did I write
Stream.
Stream?
It's okay.
Because you're
I'm the one that
streaming.
makes the graphics, so I knew.
I think I was thinking of soda. Stream.
Starscream.
So, but the soda, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Starscream, Bellatrix,
Ice cream.
Predator, Venom. Lord help us all. And last but not least, my team. We've got the Scarlet Witch, Grindelwald, Pennywise, and the Smoke Monster from Lost.
Love it.
There you go.
Watch,
there you go, guys.
Watch Brett come out of left field with that smoke monster again.
There's got to be
people
some
love the
Lost
smoke
fans
monster
still out there.
It's a great.
You're
pick.
still out there, guys.
That's like your trump card. Every time you put smoke monster in, you end up winning. I don't understand.
I don't know. I got pure evil on my side, so we'll see.
You do.
But ladies and gentlemen, that's been the Friggin' Nerds podcast for this week. Thank you guys for joining us in the live chat. If you guys want to be a part of the live chat, hang out with us every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't make it, don't worry. We post this podcast every Thursday over on Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Also on YouTube as in video form. Follow us on various social media platforms such as Twitch, of course, Twitter, Facebook, Discord. We hang out on Discord all week. We're always hanging out and doing questions of the day, talking and having a good time. If you guys are listening to this now, today is the 10th. This weekend coming up, we are doing our big New York meetup with the Wizards Unite community, and we are very excited about that. So we're going to be hanging out with our good pal James from Expecto Go and a bunch of people in our community. So we're very excited to see you guys there. I know Britt and Mike can't make it, unfortunately, but they will be in spirit. We're gonna try to stream at some point on mobile and like say hi to everybody who can't come on Saturday. So we look forward to seeing you guys in that form at least. And that's gonna do it for us. As always, I'm Mario Lima.
I'm Friggin' Nerd Lee.
I'm Friggin' Nerd Mike.
I'm Friggin' Nerd Lee.
And you guys have been friggin' awesome. And as always,
stay friggin'
nerdy.
Good job, Ben. Have a good one, guys.
We did it.